EA Sports. It's in the game.
Give me some Ingram. It's a coach. This is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Mark Ingram, fresh off a big performance a weekend ago, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the New Orleans Saints. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. It's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. Leading them out is the former first-rounder from all the way back in 2004 from Miami of Ohio, Ben Roethlisberger.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
A big reason this team led the league in offense, their offensive line. Monster strength. 3 Pro Bowlers last year in Alejandro Villanueva, David DeCastro, and Marquise Pouncey. Kept their quarterbacks upright to throw it downfield and carved a lot of holes for their runners.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Demario Davis there on the stop. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
An absolute force off the edge is Khalil Mack, his 3rd straight season with double-digit sacks in 2017. And he gets it done in a variety of ways. Has strength to bull rush people. Has excellent pass rushing moves to make people miss on his way back to the quarterback. And sometimes he just absolutely outruns the blockers to get to him and put him on the ground in the pocket.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 15 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. Wide open receiver complete. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. Pass, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Sutton now to return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Marcus Davenport there to take him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Man open right side, it's Rodgers. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
And defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. He got 29 yards that time. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On 1st down, Brees. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the 1st quarter. At the end of one, it's the Saints in the lead early here. We'll head back to New Orleans after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Now a handoff to Ingram. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. From midfield, here's Brees. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Ingram. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Now Brees throwing on 2nd down. That's caught. It's Thomas. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Here's Brees. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Mark Ingram, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Lutz now to kick this one away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Able to pick up a healthy chunk of yards, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Here's Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to check. Now good hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and this is picked up by the Saints. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running right. This is Ingram. A strong running. Sheds another. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now they'll throw with Breeze. Going for it all. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now Breeze. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. They'll look to run with Ingram. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. He'll get it up the middle. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram as time expires in the 1st half. And the Saints add on to their lead. Big decision there. They say forget the field goal and go for it, and it pays off.
I wonder who was in the ear of the head coach on this one. Did he make this call on his own, or maybe the analytics coach got involved? And a lot of times you talk about that all week before the game. Hey, if we're in certain situations, analytics actually says do it this way, which might be against the norm. And it paid off for them in a really nice way.
Cashing in and there on the final play of the 1st half. Lutz with the extra point. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where you see the final score there. Dak Prescott, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we slide over to the desert to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Rams. Josh Rosen has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And it was the visiting Atlanta Falcons who come in and get the victory. Devontae Freeman, a touchdown run in the victory. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the 2nd half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Nifty move. And now running right through it. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now Up comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if
That-
I'm not
that
mistaken,
does,
correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs. Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Breeze to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a first down.
I do know that owners, when they watch their quarterbacks run with the football, they usually hold their breath because that's the franchise. But when you're getting that kind of a game, hard to argue against calling it.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. The play fake to Ingram. Now it's Breeze. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and say, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They're going to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you've got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop it, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On the run, this is Hunt. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. It's big Vince Williams who made the tackle. Now Breeze on 3rd down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Arnold. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give them a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll run again with Hunt. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be third down. To throw, it's Breeze. And this is caught at the 8. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll run here with Ingram. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll try and run. Ingram. What a stand so far defensively. And now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Mark Ingram with touchdown number 3 here in this game and 17 now on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. What a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Lutz now to kick this one away. Sutton now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And they showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Goes underneath for Bell. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10.
Here we go. Watch that. White 80.
Ben to throw again. James has got it. Complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
White 80.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10.
Blue 30. White side.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Rodgers. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. First and 10 right at the 20. Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump off. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up second and 6.
Blue 30.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
False start. Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start.
Blue 30.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. all right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. Ingram again. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This will be 3rd and 6. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for New Orleans, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the Carolina Panthers come to town. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.